My name is Malcolm Marega. I'm the principal at the East Africa Institute of Welding. East Africa Institute of Welding is a technical training institute dedicated to promoting excellence in welding. We offer two levels of qualifications: a global qualification, which is to the International Institute of Welding Standards, and a local qualification, which is to the TVET-SIDAC Technical Vocational Education and Training Authority. Invest in Africa has been, we've partnered with the Institute of Welding for a good number of years now, at least since our establishment, as companies that are focused on the oil and gas sector. And Institute of Welding, which has been a member of Invest in Africa for a number of years, continues to benefit from the various services and products that Invest in Africa has. At the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, businesses like ours were suffering a fair bit, especially for us being in the education sector, which meant that we needed to close our doors for a while, and therefore faced a number of challenges. Invest in Africa came in and through the MasterCard Foundation and provided some support services. So this started with a few master classes that helped keep our minds focused on what are some of the key or critical areas that we need to be concerned about in difficult times such as these. And it culminated in coaching sessions whereby Invest in Africa and MasterCard Foundation provided some coaching support for the Institute of Welding. Yeah, so we felt that coaching was necessary for our business because we've accumulated a lot of skill or knowledge as a business as we've been growing over the last couple of years. But then a lot of the thoughts and ideas that we had were quite scattered, and we weren't able to articulate clearly what the areas of focus we needed to focus on, especially to jumpstart the business with limited resources coming into the business due to the COVID pandemic. And Invest in Africa, through this coaching experience, provided us the opportunity to actually focus our thoughts properly, prioritize the areas that we needed to prioritize, and then kept us accountable in terms of acting on the various areas that we had actually noted down. They walked with us through that journey to ensure that we were actually implementing some of those ideals that we had for the business. Well, we've had a very good coaching experience. Our coach was very experienced and had vast business knowledge and understanding that actually helped us to think through things in a very strategic manner. The sessions were quite casual, so to say. They allowed for free interaction on a regular basis. They also allowed for us to think a little bit outside the box from where we had traditionally been thinking as a business, and this was very helpful. So key lessons that we learned from the coaching is that we need to be able to be held accountable, whether it's us within the institution as various members of staff in our various roles. We need to be able to be held accountable, and accountable is by having structures for regular meetings, articulating and writing down the various targets that we have on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, and ensuring that we actually follow up on those things that we've documented and check that they are actually done regularly. The other thing that I learned through the coaching is how to actually focus on numbers. I think that we've generally been a little bit vague on the numbers, especially in terms of targets that we have for student numbers, how we're actually marketing to actually get those numbers, and then Next was operational processes, and how are we actually documenting the various processes that we may know in our minds as the staff that have experience, but then how are we actually ensuring that these processes are documented well so that in the future others can actually refer to the processes and things that have helped us be successful and consistent. So we've actually been able to implement a system as a result of the coaching that looks at certain key areas of the business. We have a clear focus on sales, on marketing, on operations, on cash flow, and on leadership of the business, and finally on our products. So having these segmented into different areas means that we're actually able to focus on each one of them and have certain goals that we have in each of these sectors. Some of them are weekly goals, some of them are monthly goals, and some of them, like in leadership, are longer term goals that actually help us as a business forecast what the next year should look like for the business and what some of those growth targets and plans are for our business. So since we've been involved in the business coaching, the key areas that we felt a difference as an institute, first is in marketing. We've been able to market a lot better because we set marketing targets with very definitive timelines, which we followed through on, and this has actually started to create or generate revenue in the business because we are starting to see those numbers coming in. We've won some good business since we've been part of the coaching program, and that's a key success that actually sees our doors open for the next half of the year and well into the coming year, 2022. Some of the other areas that we've seen growth or development has been in our operations, and through the coaching it helped us realize some of the gaps that we have in our operations, our daily operations, and therefore we've actually been able to implement an operating system that will help us keep tabs on the various areas that we need to focus on as a business, and to ensure that our operations continue smoothly and efficiently. So managing our costs even as we actually operate the business. Well, in view of implementing these plans and strategies, we are very confident that our business will grow over the next 3 years. Over that period in time, we've actually put some set figures in terms of targets that we have in terms of revenue, in terms of student numbers to generate that revenue. But then we've also been able to put in some plans about the growth and expansion of the institute. Growth and expansion means a couple of things for us. We are looking at the physical infrastructure or expansion of the size of the institute over the next 3 years, and we're also looking at courses and programs that will actually be able to bring in larger student numbers and particular focus on the needs that industry has and how we're actually able to meet those various needs for industry. My advice to other organizations would be that consider coaching. You don't know that you need it until you're actually going through the coaching and you realize how much or how beneficial it can actually be to your business. It would need to be a certified coach, of which we were provided a certified coach, and this has moved us leaps and bounds from where we would have been. Our heads were buried in the sand when we began, especially because of the business environment around us at the time. And now we are actually able to stand proud, with a clear focus on where we are trying to go as a business.